Hello and welcome back to Hollowponds Solo Sagas. Today we are continuing our adventures within the Aliens campaign. We are playing our next session in Act 2 of Chariot of the Gods. Hello and thank you for coming back. Yes, we're continuing our Aliens campaign of Chariot of the Gods, where we are still in Act 2. Act 2, I think this is either the second or the third session of Act 2. So what do we have? We have several things that have started going on. We have, at the last session, the Red Dwarf had been disengaged and had moved off and had self-destructed. We had then closed the door to Junction 1A, which is now out of bounds. We can't use Junction 1A because that is now exposed to space, and the way down would have shut itself down. So Junction 1A is now out of bounds. We had Jess. Crichton is holding on to Harrison, who has started to buck. Finn had started getting weirdly aggressive and had run away. Finn will return at some point as an abomination. What did we have? I've got notes written down here. Cat freezes. And I've also got John turns as Neo hatches. So I don't know if you remember, but Harrison's chest opened up, spines poked through, blood bloomed across Harrison's compression suit. And as she was choking up blood, two spindly hands came pushing through her chest cavity as a neomorph drops to the floor, and everybody, I think it was Cat freezes, and everybody else can then react. So when I say John turns, that's the inoculation thing, which is what caused Flynn to start attacking Cat. So we would begin this session with everyone. I think everyone made their panic rolls, and the one person who failed was Cat, which is why Cat freezes. So we have everybody reacting to the fact that Harrison has now died. So Harrison is gone. So we're down to Crichton, who's holding Harrison at the moment, Rimmer, who's standing in the corridor, Exo Johns, who's standing in the corridor and I think is going to start saying, "Oh no, not again," and then start freaking out trying to escape and punching people. Lister, who has never seen this before. Actually, Rimmer and Lister have never seen this before. Parks has seen this before, and Parks is the one who might react properly. Cat, who hasn't seen this before, is already stunned and frozen from what happened with Finn. And that's where we are. So I guess we are starting off straight away with a combat against the neomorph, who has hatched and is on the floor and would be counted as a stage 3 neomorphic bloodburster. We need to, everyone who has a private agenda is still up and running. We need to give people initiatives. The neomorph will be given an initiative, but it won't get to act on its initiative yet. The neomorph has a speed bloodburster of 3, which means it gets 3 cards. So we will do that first. The neomorph can have that pretty pink. So it gets 3. It goes on 10, it goes on 7, it goes on 9. And it will take this round, is just going to be reacting to what's going on. Now we will go through all of our surviving people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 of them. So we have Cat, Parks, Johns, Lister, Rimmer, and Crichton. So we would have our first point would be, there we go. So we have an order of Lister acting, and then Johns acting, Parks, Rimmer, Crichton, the neomorph, Cat, neomorph, neomorph. So in the first instance, we have number 1, we have Lister. Lister has not seen this before, but Lister succeeded in a panic roll. So we had now, Lister picked up the shotgun, didn't he, off of and Lister had 2 rounds for it. Now he had run out, so I'm going to assume that he must have reloaded the shotgun. So he has 1 reload left for the shotgun and he's carrying the shotgun. The neomorph has hatched out of Harrison's chest and hit the ground in a big lump of amniotic fluid. The innards, Harrison's innards have spilled out. I believe everyone made their panic roll. I'm going to say, because I wrote notes, Cat freezes, that everyone made their panic roll apart from Cat, who is frozen. Lister is on 1, 2, 3, 4. Lister is on 5 stress at the moment. Crichton is holding the body of Harrison. They are all in this cramped corridor outside the junction. Is this area here, which isn't that big. It would technically be a 4 by about, if we've got this is the scale, 2, 4, it says about 6 by 2 area, so 6 by 4 meters, 6 meters by 4 meter area, so big enough for them all to be standing. I think Lister is going to attempt to move out of the way around this corner. Now the neomorph hasn't acted yet, and it needs to have at least 1 round this round for it to hatch out of its amniotic fluid and give it a chance to succeed. I am going to say, because of the mess, that Lister needs to make a mobility roll, because they're in close quarters, to get around this corner. And normally he wouldn't, but if he fails, he's going to be at -2 shot if he takes a shot from around the corner. So he's going to attempt to move around this corner and then shoot at the neomorph. If he misses, he's going to clip some other people, because he's panicked and he's not trained in doing this stuff, because he's a roughneck. So Lister needs to make a mobility roll to get around the corner. And of course he can roll stress whilst doing this, which is also going to cause problems. So Lister has 3 for his agility, and he has 1 for mobility, and he's got 2, 4, 5 stress dice at this point in time. He could spend, he does have XP to spend, but we're just rolling, which doesn't really give him much of a chance to spend XP. We could give him his once a session opportunity to shed some stress. I mean, no, he really needs to play with his guitar. Well, the guitar's on the floor, so maybe Lister's person is going to bend the rules, but the DM's going to say, okay. He's going to say he sees his Les Paul guitar on the ground, and what he's going to do is he's attempting to get his Les Paul guitar that's on the ground at Harrison's feet, and he's going to take it around the corner. And because he's grabbed his guitar and he's prioritising his guitar, we're going to let him take 1 stress off. So he needs to get at least 1 hit without throwing a wobbly to get around the corner. He gets 1 hit. Okay, he gets his 1 hit on the stress dice of all things. So he manages to grab the Les Paul and he gets around the corner, and then he's going to, will he be able to take a shot? He could take a shot. All right, so if we say he's taking a shot, what sort of minuses, what sort of range modifier? I mean, he's already at a -2 because he's got his gouged die. It's at engaged range, which is a -3, because, oh no, he's moved out of engaged range, hasn't he? He's not actually up front with it, but it is a small target. So I'm going to give him a -2 for it's a small target, and a -2 for his eye patch. So he gets a -4 if he's going to try and shoot it with a shotgun. So Lister's character would say, and I'm going to try and pump a shotgun round into it. So we would go, you're at -4. So he has 3 dice for his agility. He gets +2 because he's using a shotgun. He's -4, and he has 4 stress dice. And then we say, look at Lister, and we go, the character, like, are you still gonna? Is he still gonna try? Is Lister still? I'm gonna heavily lean towards yes. Lister is still gonna try and shoot this neomorph that's on the floor, which is neutral, which is a yes. So he goes yes. So Lister runs around the corner, puts the guitar down carefully, rests it carefully against the wall, turns, levels the shotgun down at the neomorph, and then tries to pump around into the neomorph that's slopping around on the floor at Harrison's feet. He actually gets a hit of all things. He might have killed this neomorph. I mean, I don't think it has armor, so this does 3 damage. The neomorph, he might have pumped around into the neomorph and just ended this. This might be the first time we've actually dealt with the neomorph before it has a chance to do anything. Armor rating of 3. So it does have a 3 armor rating. The Bloodburster Neomorph has a speed of 3, a health of 2, mobility, observation, and an armor rating of 3. So an armor rating of 3 against a shotgun. The shotgun doesn't no, shotgun doubles armor. Shotgun doubles armor, so that gives it a 6 armor. It's Lister got 1 shot on the Neomorph. Oh, it got 1 hit. So the rounds strike against the amniotic sac, bursting the amniotic sac, splitting it across the ground as Lister pumps around into the amniotic sac. There's a splat sound and just the waste spills across. The Bloodburster rolls slightly to its side and then comes back onto all fours and kind of shakes itself as it's still trying to get its bearings. That be Lister. Johns. So Johns came out of the corridor with Rimmer, so Johns would be standing next to Rimmer. Johns doesn't have, Johns left his pistol up on because his pistol's rubbed out, which is lucky, which means he's not going to shoot Rimmer. Instead, Johns is going to get angry. Johns is going to say to Rimmer, this is your fault. You did this. It's your fault this is happening. Because that was one of your people. And Johns is going to try and smack Rimmer in the face. Now, we will use the same things we did with Flynn, that we will give him stress dice, but he can't panic, basically. So Johns has a strength of 4 as Johns is going to turn and try and strike Rimmer, and this is where people are going to notice that Johns has got strange, tiny, thin black veins are starting to appear on the subcuticle surface of John's body, not just across his face, but also across his arms and his hands, which I didn't mention for Flynn because I didn't think of it. And Johns is going to turn and attempt to step into Rimmer, push Rimmer against the wall, and then just smack Rimmer in the face. So Rimmer can use his, so that's basically John's fast action is him moving into engage with Rimmer, and then his slow action is him attempting to strike Rimmer. Rimmer will use his fast action to defend against Johns if Johns gets a hit. Johns has 4 strength and 1 stress dice. So Johns attempts to punch, he has no close combat. Johns misses Rimmer. We could make it, no, he's not going to roll. He's not, he could re-roll it. Give him an extra stress dice. Nah, it doesn't seem fair. So Johns punches into Rimmer. Rimmer cringes down and Johns punches into the wall, and the wall dents in slightly as it breaks the I was going to say plasti-steel for some reason. I think that's from Judge Dredd. In the side of the wall, at the corridor, on the left-hand side of this doorway. So Johns has just pushed Rimmer across the corridor into this corner and attempt to punch him, completely missing because Johns isn't skilled in this either. And Johns is now, I'm going to write NPC, as Johns is overcome by the virus infection, which is now flooded John's system. This is aggressive tendencies. Without warning, crew members from the Kronos start acting irrationally and aggressively, attacking PCs in a violent rage. Use these attacks for maximum dramatic effect, such as Johns is going mental whilst there's a Neomorph about to attack people. Any attacked PC must make an immediate panic roll once the first attack is over. Okay, so Rimmer needs to make a panic roll. Rimmer's got no panic at the moment, so he just needs to roll a d6. No matter what, he keeps it together because Rimmer has no panic left, has no stress left. Right, so Johns steps in. Johns tries to smack Rimmer. Next, Parks. So Parks is standing near the closed door to junction A1. Crichton, in my head, Crichton is almost in the doorway to the mother. Parks, I could have Parks could try and kick the Neomorph. Is there a sort of a push action? He could try and push the Neomorph into the room with the mother and then lock the door. Yes, he can do a shove. So Parks is going to attempt to shove the Neomorph into the room with the mother, which is a close combat roll. The Neomorph is going to use, no, it can't defend, can it? The Neomorph can't defend. So we might use its armor. So modified against certain opponents. So we might modify it. So because it's slippy, that might make it even easier to shove it in. I think because the ground's slippy and because Park's trying to do it and because basically I don't want it to be pushed out the way and into the room with the mother, that I'm going to say that Parks gets a -2 to try and do this. Now, the bad thing about this is Parks' stress is through the roof at the moment. So Parks has a 5 for strength, a 2 for close combat, 2, 4, 6, and a 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a 7 for stress dice. So we're going to say he's got -2 because of the slippy floor, and he needs to get at least 1 hit and not freeze for this to work. Unbelievable! Look at that, he got 2 hits. Okay, it can't defend. We could see, I mean, he's going to kick it. We could make an armor roll, and that's just for it taking damage, i.e. he could kill it by doing, so I think that's 1 and 1. That's 2 points, which would kill it. So it gets to make an armor roll, but it is kicked into the mother space. We'll give Crichton a mobility roll. First off, we'll see if he's killed it. Okay, he might have actually, he may, so he's damaged it, but it does get to do, it does get a critical roll on the critical table as he runs in and boots it really hard. So then we get to roll on the critical table. 3, the Xenomorph is severely wounded and cries out in alien fury. It immediately tries to perform a fast or slow action outside its normal turn. It tries to escape, proceeds to regain half its health. It instantly attacks the closest opponent. It fails to inflict. Okay, so it's going to, because it can't attack anyone, we're going to say it regains half its health, so it gets 1 hit point back. It's damaged and it's been kicked into the room with the mother if Crichton can make a mobility roll, which is highly likely because he has 6 dice. So Crichton must make a mobility roll, which is a fast action for Crichton. Yes, okay, so Crichton steps out of the way. So I'm going to say that, so Parks has gone. We've got Rimmer and Crichton have both used their fast actions, so I'll turn them to the side. And Parks has gone. So Parks has gone. Johns is still acting up. We have now got Rimmer. Rimmer has used up his quick action. Did he use up his quick action? No, because Johns never hit him, so he hasn't used up his quick action. So Rimmer is in close engagement range with Johns, who's standing right in front of him and has him pinned against the corner of the wall. That's the thing. Yes, it'd be fair enough to say that when Parks kicked the Neomorph, that possibly the mother door wasn't open because it probably would close afterwards. But I'm going to say it's open, so someone's going to have to close the door. But Rimmer's probably too busy dealing with the fact that Johns is standing in front of him looking a bit mental. Rimmer doesn't have close combat, but he does have the pistol. Maybe Rimmer is going to attempt to shove Johns away from him so as he can draw his pistol and then tell him to calm and basically use command. Maybe that's what he's going to do. So Rimmer is going to think that that Johns has basically gone into panic, and Rimmer is going to push Johns away and attempt to use command to get him to stop panicking. So that's a slow action to stop someone panicking, but we'll say that he doesn't realise, or retreating, so he's going to push him away and then retreat out of engagement range. So he would attempt to push him away, so he's going to try and shove him out of the way. Oh no, shoving to short range is a fast action. All right, so if shoving an enemy to short range is a fast action, then Parks will have shoved, i.e. kicked, the Neomorph into the room, and then he would move towards the door in attempting to close the door, but he can't have actually closed the door. So that's what Parks did. Rimmer is going to shove Rimmer is going to shove John's back and then attempt to calm John's down doing a command roll, though it's not going to work. So Rimmer has a 4 for strength. Rimmer has no stress dice, so Rimmer is going to attempt to shove pushing John's back away from him. Getting no hits, so he's going to use 1 panic dice. Okay, panicking, so he has 1 stress, automatically rolled a panic dice, but he's fine. So Rimmer attempts to shove John's back, can't get him because John's is really agged up and angry, so he can't get John's to shove backwards. So then he's going to attempt to do a command roll in front of John's and get John's to calm down. He's going to need to get, so I'm going to give him, this is going to be formidable. It's a formidable task, which is -3. So Rimmer has 3 for empathy, 3 for command, and then we're going to take 3 away because it's a formidable task and he has 1 stress dice. He gets no hits, but he gets 1 stress. We are not going to push that because we can't, because it's stress dice. But he's fine, so he's contained. So Rimmer has attempted to push John's away. John's is still straight up in Rimmer's face. And then he's attempted to get John's to calm down. And John's isn't listening to Rimmer telling him to calm down. Crichton. Now Crichton has a slow action remaining. He used up his fast action. The Neomorph is in the room. He's near the door. Maybe we can say that Crichton has closed the door. So Crichton will use his turn to step in and attempt to close the door. To make it be an effective closing of the door, we will say that Crichton needs to make a plain mobility roll, which is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 for mobility. So this is Crichton stepping in and closing the door. 1 hit. Okay, so Crichton closes the door to the mother. The Neomorph is now in the room with the mother. There is not many ways out. How's he going to get out of here? I mean, this does benefit Crichton. So Crichton's agenda is to try and get samples to take back to Bionational. Now, a live Neomorph is an outstanding sample to take back. The only problem is, of course, Crichton's going to have to try and stand around and let everybody else hopefully not be here for Crichton to actually be able to take that back to Bionational. All right, so Crichton closes the door. Now we've got the Neomorph's first turn. The Neomorph doesn't get to act because the Neomorph is recovering. Cat, what's Cat going to do? Cat was frozen, so we'll say that Cat is going to attempt to do an empathy roll, which is 4 dice with stress, 2, 4, 5, to stop panicking and unfreeze. No. Okay. 10 is freezing again. Cat is frozen for another turn. So Cat is still frozen. And then we have Neomorph. Right, so we have, at the moment, we have the Neomorph inside the room. I don't think the Neomorph can get out of there easily. So the Neomorph is now contained. We do have Johns, who's going a bit berserk at the moment on Rimmer. Johns, what have we got down here? So this bit is dropped in the middle of the flow, because I forgot to do this whilst I was recording. If you're enjoying what you're watching so far and you're not yet a subscriber, can I ask, it would be lovely if you could subscribe. I produce these all the time and doing stories. If you could be a subscriber, you'll get to know when I produce the next stories. Sorry if this interrupts the flow of the story, but I forgot to do it because I was enjoying myself. And so hopefully you can subscribe and join us and all other subscribers for continuing these stories. Sorry, we'll go back to me doing the story now. Okay, So I just quickly read that actually what the abomination, so John's is at stage 2, which is he's beginning to mutate, which actually means that John's strength goes up by 3, putting his strength to 7, and his health goes up by 3. His agility is increased by 1, and his empathy is reduced to 1. He can no longer manipulate any sort of technological items, and he's immune to all manipulation. Infected. Okay, so that's the main part there, but it also says in here that he would attack head on and then just disappear, returning later as a stage 3 abomination. All right, so we've already got Flynn, which is out there hiding in some dark place, converting into an abomination. We've also got the rest of the ship. We know that they need to repair the ship, so let's go through this. John's is still there. John's is still agged up. They are still in combat, even though we will take the Neomorph out, because the Neomorph is out of action, being locked in the room. There's not much it can do apart from this turn start smashing against the mother door, but it's not going to be able to get through. So we'll do a round of combat. We'll see whether John's, so John's will probably do an attack and then try and run away. Lister first. Lister is observing that John's is fighting Rimmer. So Lister is probably going to step in and try and pull John's away from Rimmer, like just grab him and pull off. So we'll have him make a close combat and John's try and avoid that. So Lister is going to step into close engagement range and try and grab at John's. I don't think at the moment he would see that John's is doing anything that would need Lister to shoot him. Lister has 4 stress, so Lister has 3 close combat, 4 for strength and 4 stress. All right, he gets 1 hit, but he does roll panic. That's an 8. Tremble, you start to tremble control. All skills using agility are -2. So he's -2 on his agility until he stops panicking. So he steps forwards, grabs at John's with a 1. John's is going to attempt to dodge out of the way. I don't think we're going to give them stress dice anymore because I've now read how they work. So he's already better than he is. So John's has a 7 for close combat, as John's is going to attempt to use his fast action to avoid the 1 hit that Lister made. No, he fails. Okay, so Lister grabs John's and pulls John's away, doing 1 point of damage as he pulls John's back. So grabbing John's and pulling John's back. John's is John, that would be a grapple. So they're grappling at the moment. So Lister has John's in a grapple. That's Lister. So they're, according to this, they are both on the floor with Lister has grabbed John's. They've slipped to the floor and Lister is trying to hold John's down. John's is now going to attempt to break free of this. This said it was a fast action, so we'll say that Lister has stepped in. John's is going to attempt to break free of Lister. So John's gets his 7 dice. He's going to attempt to break free and hurt Lister in response. John's gets 3 hits on trying to attack Lister, who's on the floor. Now John's is going, if he's got 3 hits, John's is going ballistic on Lister on the floor. He's thrashing, he's pulling his arms apart, and Lister is absolutely shocked at how strong John's is reacting. So Lister also has 7 plus his 4 stress dice. He's got to match 3 hits to hold on to John's, who's thrashing on the floor. He gets 1 hit, so 2 hits go through. So Lister takes 2 damage as John's is thrashing, as whacking his head back into Lister's face. Lister has already got his damage die. Lister's nose is bust to the side, and John's has broken free, and John's now standing. But that's all of John's go. So John's would be break free from Lister's grapple, and then John stands ready to leg it. So Lister's on the floor. Lister's nose is bleeding. Lister is looking a bit worse for wear. Oh, Parks. Parks is going to, like, the pulse rifle may be too much. Parks will pull his pistol and level it at John's And John's is looking a bit weird. I am going to make an empathy roll for John's, who doesn't have much empathy as it stands. We'll give him 1 stress dice. If John's passes this, then John's will not shoot Parks. If John's fails this, John's is going to shout for him to stand down. Parks is going to shout for John's to stand down. John's won't stand down, Parks will shoot him. No. Okay. So Parks has levelled his pistol at John's, shouted at John's stand down. Then John's hasn't stood down, which then Parks' player is going to excuse. All right, then I'll shoot him. So Parks is going to attempt to shoot at John's. John's has no armour. It is in engagement range. So we have Parks has 4 for agility, 3 for range combat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stress. 5, 6, 7, 7 stress dice. He's using a pistol, which gives him +2. He's in engagement range, which gives him -3. And I think that is that. And then Parks is going to attempt to shoot. It only does 1 damage, but 1 damage will be enough. John's 2 hits, but we do have a panic rolling out. So he has 7 stress, 8, 9, 10. Okay, freeze. You've frozen by fear or stress for 1 round. Losing your next slow action, your stress level and the stress level of all friendly PCs in short range of you increases by 1. Parks stress goes up even further. Parks freezes and can't pull the trigger. Lister can't believe that Parks was about to shoot John's, and so his stress goes up. Rimmer can't believe Parks was about to shoot John's. His stress goes up. Crichton has no stress. Cat is frozen, so isn't really cognizant of it. Parks doesn't shoot John's. Rimmer has now seen Parks pull the weapon, attempt to shoot John's. John's not go. Parks begin to visibly shake and freeze as he clearly doesn't shoot John's. John's is now standing. They're all in close proximity. Rimmer's against the wall. John's back is against Rimmer. Rimmer might attempt to use the pistol as a club and smack John's across the back of the head. So I'm going to say that Rimmer is technically going to, let's give him a +2. So Rimmer has a 4 for strength. I'm going to say he's using a pistol, which should give him a 1, which is going to give him a +1, and then he's going to get a +2 as a weapon, a +2 because he's behind him and John's is unaware of him. But Rimmer has 2 stress. All Rimmer is attempting to do is knock John's out. We will give John's a half agility defense. So Rimmer gets 3 hits. Now John's, what's John's agility? John's has an agility of, it's close combat is 7, halved will round up to 4. So John's will get 4 dice and that's it, and he has to defend against 3. Defending 1. So 2 points go through. What was John's health at? John's has taken 1. So John's takes 2 hit points, putting him down to, so he's got 4 hit points left. As Rimmer steps in and cracks him on the back of the head with the pistol, John's he turns slightly as he's being hit, which is then the 1 defense that he got. But Rimmer doesn't get to knock him out because his skull has mutated. It's thicker around the back, and he seems to be impervious to this stuff. It does mean that John's may not run away. Instead, John's might stand and turn and try and take on Rimmer. So next we have Crichton. Crichton can see that John's is a bit poorly. There's an Ava in the corner on the floor. Cat is a bit still frozen and looking a bit shocked. Maybe Crichton is going to leave them to do what they're doing, and Crichton is going to drag Cat, who's still on the floor, out of the way and around the corner, and then return back. So Crichton is going to drag Cat away and then return back to possibly deal with John's, maybe to try and knock John's out. Maybe, oh yeah, but he's got Sworn Oath, never take a life, but maybe he will attempt to take John's down. But so he is going to move around the corner, dragging Cat out of the way. Cat is still frozen. Cat goes round. Let's give Cat a panic roll and see what happens to Cat this round. So Cat comes out of frozen, but 5, 6, 7, 8. So he is no longer frozen. But this is so Cat gets dragged around the corner, but this will take him out of frozen. Right, I think that's it. Next round, John's is standing. Rimmer is behind him. Parks is frozen. John's, and then we've got Lister is on the ground. So Lister is going to stand and attempt to step back out of the way. Now Lister's going to need to make a mobility roll, otherwise John's is going to get a hit on Lister as Lister stands up at John's feet. So Lister needs to make a mobility roll to stand and move out of the way of John's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. So Lister is attempting to move, stand and step away, and then Lister might unsling the shotgun and use that against John's. Okay, so he gets 1 hit, so he succeeds in moving out of the way, but he does have to make a panic roll. 5, 6, he's fine. So Lister slides out in all the gunk that's on the floor. There's a neomorph body down here. There's an Ava over there. He's going to slide out towards where the Ava is, which is on this side of the mother. So he's on the floor. The floor's covered in slime. There's Harrison's body that's on the floor. Lister is going to push past Harrison's body, which is why he needs to make the panic roll, which is what this was all about, because he's pushing through Harrison's body, around, like past John's feet. He's on the ground, so he's still on the ground, and then he's going to attempt to, so the mobility roll is getting out of the way, and then he's retreating out, standing up, and he's going to level the shotgun, and he's going to try and blast Johns, who's standing there, because Johns is definitely acting funny. Parks couldn't do it, but Lister is going to try and do it. Lister has a 3 for the shotgun, a 1 for mobility. He was panicked and he was shaking because he got trembles, which is a -2. So he loses 2 for that, but he gains 2 for the shotgun, but he loses 3 for engagement range because they're in close engagement range. And he has 5 panic dice as he attempts to shoot from the ground at Johns. Getting another panic roll, which means that the gun is, he empties gun, so he fires at Johns, and there's just a click as the shotgun clicks onto an empty chamber, which Lister is fine. Lister doesn't panic because of, but the click goes onto an empty chamber as the shotgun goes off. It's now Johns. Johns turns to look at Lister, who does that, and Lister's up on his knees as he's covered in the gore from Harrison and from Elliot, who also got killed in this corridor, and the neomorph. He's just dripping in gore with the clicking shotgun as Johns is just going to lunge at Lister, running forward into Lister and attempting to attack Lister. Or will Johns run away? All right then. So we've got a positive is Johns is going to go for Lister and attempt to do for Lister. Negative, Johns decides that this is the time to run away. That's very much a negative, isn't it? 2 negatives. All right, so Johns is going to see that Lister has got to his feet and has pointed the gun, and Johns is can he try and smack Rimmer, who's up close, and then run away? So technically what he's going to do is we're going to say he's going to go to hit Rimmer, but in the process of hitting Rimmer, if he gets a hit on Rimmer, then he's knocking Rimmer into Lister, which is going to clear his retreat, and he's going to run, which means that we'll have 2 abominations wandering around hunting them down if he can succeed in doing this, which I might make Johns make a mobility roll to get out because he's still within close proximity to everyone, and Rimmer might be able to stop him. So first off, he's going to try and hit Rimmer so then he can get out, which is a 4, 5, 6, 7. So he attempts to hit Rimmer. getting no hits. Okay, so he fails to get any hit on Rimmer. So he fails to grab Rimmer. So then he now definitely needs to make a mobility roll to get away because Rimmer is there and can stop him. He does get a hit for a mobility roll. So he does get to retreat out of the way and then he goes around the corner. So Johns attempts to grab Rimmer, punching Rimmer or grappling Rimmer and throwing Rimmer at Lister. Because of all of the ichor and the slipping on the feet, he fails to get any traction to grab Rimmer and throw Rimmer, but he does get to go around the corner. Parks has frozen. Freeze for 1 round, losing your next slow action. So Parks does have a fast action that he can use. And his fast action, so he froze whilst trying to shoot. So that means the pistol is empty because he's misgauged whether, so maybe the clip emptied out of the pistol, and so Parks has got an empty pistol. As Johns goes around the corner, Parks now only has a fast action, so maybe he is going to use his action to holster the pistol. So I'm just going to do that. He's going to holster the pistol and he is going to pull up the pulse rifle as his action, which would allow him to then on his next turn try and pursue Johns and get Johns if Johns is still there, which he probably isn't. Rimmer, on the other hand, didn't have to, now we're on Rimmer. Rimmer, on the other hand, didn't have to defend, so Rimmer is going to attempt to, is Rimmer going to chase Parks down? Rimmer might just try and shoot Johns rather. All right, Rimmer is going to, so what we've got is, just to do this on this, what we've got is, Rimmer was in the corner there. Johns attempted to grab Rimmer and throw Lister, who is over here, who slid over here, to throw Rimmer at Lister. Parks was standing here and Parks is frozen. Johns has now exited around this corner here. Crichton is over near the door. Cat is over here with Lister, who is over here. So we now have Rimmer, who is here, who can then, Rimmer is going to head around the corner after Parks, and maybe once he hits the corner and sees Parks, who's probably down here somewhere, Rimmer is going to attempt to shoot at Parks, who's down here. So, do I need to make Rimmer? No, we'll go because of stress. We're going to say that to shoot, his stress is going to go up by 1 automatically. So Rimmer to shoot Parks is going to take 1 extra strength, which is 3 stress. Rimmer has a 4 for agility, and he's got a 2 for range combat. So he's pulled his pistol. He's already had his pistol. He's going to round the corner, and he's going to attempt to shoot Parks. Okay, he gets 1 hit, but he does have to roll panic dice. With a 3, it's a potential that he's got a dropped item. If he drops the item, we say he drops his pistol in a slip. So 4, 5, 6, 7, nervous twitch. His stress just goes up by 1. It does say everyone in close proximity, but I think everybody else is out of the way of this. So 1 hit on Johns. Oh, he also got a +2. Did I give him his +2? I didn't. He also gets +2 because it's a pistol. 2 hits on Johns. So 2 hits on Johns. Johns gets hit for 2 hits, which is 1 damage with the +1 on top of it. So Johns gets 2 damage, which would have done for Johns, but Johns still has 2 health left. So Johns gets hit in the back, shoulder, which is the way Rimmer would like it. And then he falls forwards, but Rimmer can see that he's not down, he's still going. But we did have that, so that means the Rimmer's pistol is empty. Crichton is going to see it as possibly an advantage to have some abominations roaming around here to distract from what's going on, as it might make it easier to try and get the ship afterwards, although he does need to get the ship repaired, so he does need Lister to be okay. Has Lister got any damage on him? 1, 2, just checking. Lister does have two hits on him. So Crichton is going to go over, because Crichton needs this fixed. Harrison's dead. Crichton needs Lister to fix the ship so Crichton can get this to Bionational. So Crichton is going to step up to Lister, and Crichton is going to attempt to do first aid on Lister. Now, that's only on a broken or dying person, But what it's going to do is it's going to hold Lister up, and hopefully Crichton is going to make it seem as though he's doing medical aid on Lister and holding Lister back from getting more involved into combat and going around the corner. Crichton can lose Rimmer because Crichton can pilot. He's fine getting rid of Rimmer. Parks is a nuisance that Crichton hadn't accommodated for, so Parks but could be useful as well. Cat isn't a threat, and it might be useful because Cat knows Comtech, so might be able to repair stuff. And also there's no threat to Crichton, so he doesn't mind having Cat around. But Rimmer is a threat to Crichton, but Crichton can't hurt Rimmer, but Crichton can leave Rimmer to his own devices. And then we've got Cat. What's Cat going to do? I think Cat's just going to stay out of the way. Cat. Right. Back to the top. We've got Lister. Lister's gun is empty. So, whilst Crichton is looking after Lister and making a big deal of it, Lister is going to recharge? Lister is going to reload the shotgun. That's the last round of shotgun. There is no more shotgun ammunition that Lister has on him. He's out. There is a plasma rifle, pulse rifle, that Lister has been carrying around that he does have though. Lister reloads, Lister is being looked after. Johns is going to attempt to leg it through the door down here, and then once he's come through this door, he will be lost to sight to Rimmer, and then he'll go through this door, and you and I know, we know this, he is going to enter this air duct here and attempt to disappear. Where we don't know where Finn is, but then we can start rolling for the effects in Act 2, and the next time we get one, then the abominations are going to attack. Probably both of them at the same time. So Johns legs it down here and then disappears. We won't bother making mobility rolls because that's it. But then we come back round and we come out of combat because there's no one else here. Parks then is shocked, so reloads his pistol. Rimmer is going to have to reload his pistol. Johns is gone. We are now down to Lister, Parks, Rimmer, Crichton and Cat. That's all we have left. Crichton will now make sure that Harrison's body is moved out of the way. Maybe they're going to start to, so we'll end in the session there. Crichton will move some of the bodies away. We still have the Ava there. They are going to have to try and work out what they're going to do next and where they're going to go next. Probably they're going to try and come back down here, or maybe there's this stairwell here. They'll go down the stairwell to come downstairs, and they're going to have to start exploring downstairs and fix up this Ava to find out what's going on. So Lister will be in the corner just going, what was that? What's happening? So Lister is basically almost sitting in the Ava's lap. Cat's going to be saying, this is insane. What do we do next? Parks is going to try and come out of his stupor. I think actually what we'll have is, I'm just going to do it now. Crichton is going to use the last of the stuff on Parks, who has unbelievable amount of stress, and relieve Parks' stress. And we're going to let everyone reduce one lot of stress, because they're all high in stress, as Crichton's just going to look after them as they're all basically there just shocked, saying, what was that? What's happened to him? What's happened here? As they're all starting to panic, and then and talk about what to do next. And as we end this episode with them standing in that corridor, now they need to explore the ship and find out what's going on in the ship. They need to repair the Ava, and they're discussing what we're going to do next. As at the window and the doorway here, there's a smashing sound as the grey, thin-skinned face and claws of what is now a fully matured neomorph begins to smash and claw at the hardened door, attempting to get out and get at them. But of course it can't, because it's trapped for now. Thank you very much for sticking around. If you are a subscriber, thank you very much for subscribing. If you're not a subscriber, hopefully you enjoyed what you just saw, and hopefully you enjoyed the episode and you're happy to subscribe. Thank you for subscribing if you do. Thank you very much to our members of the Adventurers Guild. If you'd like to join the membership to support the channel, there's the join button down the bottom. Thank you very much for all of your support in all ways and all your comments. Let's find out what happens next when exploring the Chronos in Chariot of the Gods. See ya.